So hello everyone, welcome here to the Daytona International Speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida for a little prequel to the main event here. It's the Rookie Division Series of the FAST Walmart Superspeedway Series for their first round of the season here at Daytona. As this is the first attempt and only attempt at a race restart. So let's get right to it as we don't have a lot of time. It's Josh Mertz here up in the commentary box. I'm bringing you the commentary feed as there's my commentary box camera. I love that camera. As here's the
Gentlemen, start your engines!
So that's that.
You look crazy, you guys.
As this is going to springboard us into our social media. We don't have a lot of time. Facebook page is facebook.com/automotorsportsnetwork. We post everything there, news, notes, broadcast links, pretty much anything. Like us on Facebook. Our Twitter page, which is hooked up to our YouTube channel to give you links to our YouTube broadcasts, which is twitter.com/ASNTV_USA. Join the conversation on Facebook and Twitter by using the hashtag ASNTVUSA. ASN On Demand is youtube.com/ASNTVUSA. We post all of our programs on demand there. And ASN Live, which we haven't used lately with our friends at Glacier TV, but when we do, it is twitch.tv/ASNTVUSA. We worked really hard to get a brand new site up and running. We basically spent, I believe, about $50 a couple days ago. We bought a domain name, we re-upped on our broadcasting equipment, and we re-upped on our site for a month. We re-upped for our broadcasting equipment and our domain for a year, asntv.us. And if you have any broadcast inquiries for anything, or comments, questions, concerns, or suggestions, email us at any time at asntvUSA@gmail.com. Springboards us into this broadcast was brought to you by JavaShot Designs. If you need any painting done for any of your racing interests, contact Adam Sweet at his page at facebook.com/JavaShotDesigns. You see, we don't have a lot of time because the lights are out on the safety car. On pole, it's going to be Josh Hawkins, followed by Robbie Jackson, Jacob Kraus, Tanner Smith, Adam Simons, Austin Hakes, Sean Whitehill, Tim Smith, David Culpepper, and Dylan Young. It's a 10-car field here, and the top 3 rookies advance through to the premier event. It's a lot like Rallycross if you think about it, but it's not with Rallycross having an LCQ. But let's get off topic there, get off that topic. As this is a 20-lap race, and the top 3 rookies are allowed to race in the premier event, which will come shortly after, but it will be its own broadcast here in the Automotive Sports Network. So glad you could join us for a special presentation here of the rookie division of the FAST Superspeedway Series. Hopefully we can get past the first 100 yards of this race clean as the safety car dives to the pit lane. And from the commentary box camera right in front of my face, Josh Hawkins will lead us down to the green flag, and we are underway again at Daytona as he immediately drops to the inside of the racetrack. It's going to allow the 0 car of Robbie Jackson to take the lead in second, Tanner Smith, and then Jacob Kraus and Austin Hakes in the Alex Gordon mobile side by side for third. As you see, a couple of the Cup drivers are in this race. They're allowed to run it because otherwise we wouldn't have a very nice grid, as it looks like Austin Hakes and Sean Whitehill are the only 2 drivers that are in this race that are the pro driver or the Cup drivers, as I believe Whitehill is Rookie of the Year the 2013 season, well, the 2013 spring season. Robbie Jackson side by side with Tanner Smith for the lead going into turn number 3 as he takes the lead, battling with Robbie Jackson side by side with Simons and Kraus in the car number 5, the Lincoln Park car, along number 87 Toyota, I do believe he is. Once we get a sponsor look, I can't see it. Kraus look to the apron, end of lap 1. It's going to be Tanner Smith leading by a 1/10 of a second over Robbie Jackson in car number 0. He doesn't have any sponsorship. The 62 of Dylan Young following Jacob Kraus. As I'm also going to say, we were supposed to have an ASN TV broadcast of the Fresh Talent Series yesterday, but that never happened. We do have a radio broadcast from Rob Peters in our files, and I have yet to decide, and the rest of the staff have yet to decide how to exactly deliver that to you, whether it be on ASN TV USA On Demand or on ASN Radio, but we will post on the Facebook page when we decide. Car on the wall, Kraus. As a program note, tomorrow we will have the Fast Precision Cup Series from Daytona with their season debut as 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern on ASN On Demand. So at the end of lap 2, it's still Tanner Smith leading, as in the drivers' meeting, the drivers said that you might have to pit, although you might not. It's really debatable on whether you have to pit or not. As your running order is Tanner Smith, Robbie Jackson, Simons, Young, Hakes, Whitehill, Culpepper side by side with Tim Smith, Kraus, and Josh Hawkins is in the wall. There might be a problem on the Verizon car number 19. side by side was Jackson nearly getting into Adam Simons as Tanner Smith with his teammate on the outside, Simons. These two came from the Netherlands where Tanner Smith tried to get his second victory of the season. I won't spoil it just in case you haven't watched. It's on ASN On Demand, and it was a cracking race from Valkenswaard in the Netherlands. Check that out. But meanwhile, the ATN Autosport drivers back where they belong on asphalt, on all asphalt, in heavy stock cars, and they are leading in the Toyotas with Tanner Smith and Adam Simons leading. And honestly, you don't expect these two to move, as I don't believe they're both rookies, I do believe. So if they were to finish where they are, they would be in the premier event, which will follow this broadcast. As to the apron goes the 62 car. He's sideways. Will he save it? Out of corner number 4. He's all over the racetrack, and it looks like he saved it. That was a risky move. He might have got aero loose, as these Gen 6 cars, I'm going to beat a dead horse and say it, these Gen 6 cars get really aero loose when they are in the draft like that. So he dropped from around 3rd to 8th place. So not a good day for Dylan Young in car number 62, as currently the two ATN Autosport cars are leading with Robbie Jackson in the 0 car. We saw him in the 28 for the last race last season. As to the apron, I believe it's Sean Whitehill in car number 48, the legendary car number 48, you could say, that has won 2 consecutive Drivers' Championships in the Cup Series, but it's not Adam Sweet driving that car. It is Sean Whitehill. Tanner Smith, Simons, Culpepper in a Dodge, and then it's a Chevrolet, a Toyota, a Chevrolet, a Ford, a Chevrolet, a Chevrolet, a Chevrolet. That's your grid, with the 2 Toyotas up front, with a Dodge and a Chevrolet and a Toyota. I went through the manufacturers again. So good diversity as we have all 4 manufacturers in this race. That could have ended in tears with Adam Simons off the front bumper of David Culpepper. I'll admit he did that to me on Friday in the Rookie Challenge that we were supposed to broadcast, but that race never happened. That broadcast never happened either. That really is a problem, as the bumpers don't line up in the Gen 6 race cars. Now they're stuck on the outside, the 2 ATN cars, with on the inside, it's Jackson with Culpepper. Culpepper leading in the 12 Worth Dodge, and he loves to thank his sponsors at the end of the race. We're on lap number 6. We are 1/4 through the event here, as I was thinking of an obscure fraction to use, excuse me there, but I couldn't think of anything. And to lap 6, lead change, Culpepper to the lead in the Worth Dodge, with the unsponsored Chevrolet and the Alex Gordon Mobile on the bottom group. So 3 different manufacturers, and then it's 3 different manufacturers on the top as well. So Culpepper in the middle of the track, he was kind of leaving about half a groove there, trying not to get caught for low lining, although I don't know if this series makes a big deal out of it. It is a super speedway, so that'd be the only logical thing to do, to try and hold your spot. But it's 4 cars on the outside, to the inside's 3, as Simons with Smith, and then, take off the graphic, it's Whitehill. As we're going to drop back, Hawkins is 18 seconds behind the field. There has to be something wrong with that 19 car, as he's all over the racetrack. And Jacob Kraus is 8 seconds behind the field. Dylan Young, 4.7. So this is the pack of 7 cars at the end of lap number 7. Interestingly enough, 7-car pack at the end of lap 7. They're 0.3 of a second, so they're all under a blanket here at Daytona as the ATN cars are back to the lead, as it looks like the bottom groove dried up for David Culpepper. So it looks like there's a Batman logo on those 2 ATN cars. How about that? So another program note, this Monday we will have round 3 of the NASA Rallycross Challenge. I wish I had a program note graphic. Oh, that's another thing. Director, go make one, please. Victor Valley. Well, he's not here right now, but I told my director to. Another thing, Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, round 3 of the NASA Rallycross Challenge from Charlotte, as that series is on a rebound after a dismal 2013 A season that only lasted 3 races. We had 18 cars for the first 2 races, thereabouts, and then 7 for the third one, as you can read what happened on the ASN Facebook page. I believe he posted something there. So the bottom groove, they are not tandeming, as it looks like maybe Culpepper and Whitehill are trying to tandem out front. But like I said earlier, I mean, you can't really tandem in these race cars. If you get really close to one another, yeah, that's essentially a tandem. As we got a 3-car train, Tim Smith drops to the inside. So the 2 T. Smiths, according to timing and scoring, are on the bottom groove, as those 2, as Smith had a huge run. Wow, look at Tim Smith in the 98 car. He went from 3rd to the lead. He should go up to the top, but I don't know if he will. Coming to the line to complete lap number 9. Crossed flags in the air. We are approaching halfway already here at Daytona. And this is a cracking race with 7 cars, with the 5 of Kraus and the 19 of Hawkins out of the draft. Hawkins is 36 seconds behind the pack as he is pitting in car number 19. That's a strange thing. Let's try and get something down in the paddock for why that happened. As down the backstretch, from the top of the Super Stretch Grandstand, we have a nice camera up there, and down into corner number 3 they go. The field working their way around the high banks of the Daytona International Speedway. Still the ATN Autosport cars working their way and staying up at the front, and that's beneficial as the 2 teammates. Nobody else has a teammate in this race, I don't believe, as nearly 3 wide with Whitehill, as Smith, or now it's Simons, excuse me, still leads. Now crossed flags. Lap 11 begins of 20 as we have 9 or 10 laps to go. So side by side with that is the zero carb Jackson with Culpepper as the bottom groove really reigns supreme. We didn't really have an outside groove there for a moment, as now everyone's single file pretty much waiting. No, Tim Smith jumps to the outside, squirming under bump drafting possibly is the zero of Robbie Jackson. And nobody's going to help Tim Smith. So he's going to go from the back bumper of the other T. Smith to the back of the pack as these ATN cars are dominating here at Daytona. Like I was mentioning earlier, when you have a drafting partner, especially your teammate, and you two are locked together, you're not going to be dethroned. As to the outside is Jackson, who will follow. He looked. He's not going to decide. Tim Smith latches onto the back of the field. Josh Hawkins has gone 2 laps down. 11 seconds behind the field, according to timing and scoring, is the 62 of Dylan Young and Jacob Kraus. I don't know what happened to Jacob Kraus. I think there might have been something wrong with the backup cars. Those two had to roll up the backup car. As to the apron goes Culpepper. That could have ended badly. And now Robbie Jackson is going to get shuffled to the back. I have to believe here that to the apron is Simons. That's strange. The whole field is going to... No, Simons to the outside. I think there might be a problem with the 87. There might be a problem with Adam Simons in car number 87. We will see here momentarily as David Culpepper tries to take it 3 wide. And Will Smith blocked. No, he gets back in line. Culpepper wants this win. He wants to get through. I believe he's in a transfer spot. As now I'm going to use my rallycross expertise to see who is in and who is out. As I do believe Whitehill is not classified as a rookie driver. He won Rookie of the Year, so I don't think that's the case. So the current rookies that are in the transfer spots are Tanner Smith, David Culpepper, and Robbie Jackson. As it looks like Austin Hanks is just riding out back, wanting to get a win to the apron. Under the yellow line is David Culpepper. To the outside is Sean Whitehill from the helicopter camera. Whitehill ducks back in line. Hanks wants to win this race. No, they're not teammates, but Whitehill and Hanks, they're the 2 cup drivers in this race. And they want to win this race. They don't care about it. As Hawkins to the pit lane, there must be something broken on car number 19. He started from the pole position, and there was something wrong, even under pacing for the 19 car. So we will see if we can figure out what happened at the end of lap number 13. So the outside goes Culpepper with Whitehill. Jackson's going to close the door. Wow, David Culpepper. I can't really be mean and insult him, but as a driver, that is a really mean thing to do. You lead a driver to the outside and then drop to the inside and leave him out like a rock. As he's dropping like a rock, and he will drop to the back, but this is something that Hakes wants to see. He might let the fellow cup driver in there with him, as these two are trying to pull away with Tanner Smith leading. As I'm going to pull this up, it doesn't matter. Fastest lap of the race is the 12 car of David Culpepper, 46.251. I have an obsession with fastest laps, so I must say that. So it was a 1/10 of a second to David Culpepper in car number 12. Robbie Jackson in the Chevrolet. So we have a Toyota, a Dodge, a Chevrolet, and the only Ford in this race, Tim Smith, has dropped back to the 7th position. So this is a 6-car pack now. There must be something wrong with the 98 after he had that huge run and tried to take the lead a couple laps ago. Lapped car, Josh Hawkins. He gets to the apron as that could have ended badly. He's going to stay. He's all over the track. What is wrong with the 19 car? There must be something wrong in the steering box on that car, but we'll try and figure out what happened here. As Tanner Smith leads, David Culpepper, Robbie Jackson, your top 3. As we're going to end lap 15. These are the cars in the transfer spot as Whitehill and Hakes. So it is 4-2, rookies to pros in this race currently. And you might think a pro driver will help a rookie up front. That's debatable. We will see. As Tanner Smith continues to lead. David Culpepper, Robbie Jackson, Sean Whitehill, Austin Hakes, Adam Simons, Josh Hawkins. Well, he's off the lead lap, so let's go through the running order. It's Smith, Culpepper, Jackson, Whitehill, Hakes, Simons, Smith, Young. As to the apron goes Jackson, then it's Kraus and Josh Hawkins. I'm really puzzled as to what happened to the 19 car. There must be something broken in the car, and he just refuses to pull it behind the wall in the paddock and get it fixed. He's trying to get his crew to fix it on pit lane. That doesn't help, as at the end of lap 16, it's getting down to crunch time. 4 laps to go here at Daytona, and it is getting good. 10 miles left to go in the rookie division race. As good thing we don't have this in one broadcast, or it's a live broadcast, because I'd tell you not to leave or change the channel, because we have the premiere race next up, as it's going to be its own separate broadcast here on ASN On Demand, so you don't have to worry about that. You just have to, I believe we're going to have our content guys put them together. I haven't decided whether or not I want them in one broadcast or in their own separate broadcast or just linked together. We'll figure it out. We'll post. And it looks like they're pitting, so they did have to pit, and this is crucial. This is crucial to the pit lane. Smith, Jackson, Simons, and Culpepper. The 4 rookies are pitting, and these 2 don't care. I believe they might be pitting a lap later. So this, I didn't think about that. I thought we didn't have to pit. Tim Smith might be golden here, as he pitted earlier. So did the 62 maybe, as down the pit lane. Oh my! Wow! The race is over. And that's going to allow Whitehill and Hakes to battle it out for the race win, I do believe, as we had a big issue with the 19 car. As battling out for the win, maybe these cars will clutch and they'll make it to the end. If this is the end of the race, who will get it here coming down? It's going to be Austin Hakes and Sean Whitehill battling for the possible race victory. It's going to be Austin Hakes at the line, but we will see what just transpired. That was strange. Wow, I've never seen something like that. So we're going to roll it back and take a look at what just happened to the 19 of Josh Hawkins. That was strange. I've never seen something like that before. So here he is. He's driving along, la 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 la, and the car's all over the track. I don't know what happened to that car, and he hit a gouge in the wall. And a big wreck involving Tim Smith. So a massive wreck. And you look at these 2, they are clutching like mad. And we will see if they can make it to the end of the race. So, it's under caution here. 62 laps around the field. And these 2 are going to be clutching like mad. They are on fumes, I would think. As let's go on board with Austin Hakes and listen to the 21. As the Tim Smith and everyone, they are fine. Tim Smith's going to win this race, even if it was involved in a wreck. Wow. White flag at Daytona under caution. And this is the most exciting caution period ever. Hakes clutching, Whitehill clutching. And Tim Smith, he's good on fuel. And he is in 3rd after plowing into the wall. So we're going to see if Austin Hakes can win on fuel mileage at Daytona. That's strange. We're going to stay on board with the 21. If he runs out of fuel, he'll probably tell the 48 of Whitehill to push him across the line. I don't know if that's legal or illegal to FAST regulations. Keep in mind, I'm just going to say it anyway, even though we might not. Keep in mind, a couple minutes from now, we will have the premiere race of the FAST Walmart Superspeedway Series coming up next in just a few minutes after this race. I say that, we might not do it, but if we do, I mean, I said the truth. So, Austin Hakes, we are waiting to see what will happen with the 21. We are waiting. He is clutching. And it's nothing but silence. on the 21 car. He is clutching 4th gear in car number 21. We will see if he can make it through the final couple of corners here under caution at Daytona. He is on fumes in the 21, the Alex Gordon mobile, to try and make it to the end of the race after Tim Smith and Josh Hawkins had that strange wreck in turn 1 when Hawkins hit the wall and Tim Smith had nowhere to go, but Tim Smith's in 3rd spot, so if these two run out of fuel in the last couple of 100 feet here, he's your victor as the Dodge Charger safety car comes out of the corner. 70 miles an hour is Austin Hakes. Coming down to the line, this is going to be possibly one of the luckiest things as the Alex Gordon mobile goes 2 for 2 in a strange turns of events. He wins at Daytona with Whitehill in 2nd, Tim Smith in 3rd, 4th is Tanner Smith, 5th is Adam Simons, 6th is Robbie Jackson, 7th David Culpepper, 8th Jacob Kraus, 9th is Dylan Young, and 10th is Josh Hawkins. So advancing, I do believe, is Tim Smith, Tanner Smith, and Adam Simons. So that's all we have time for. In just a few minutes' time, we will have the premiere race of the FAST Superspeedway Series. So we had an incident with a couple laps to go, and the 2 Cup drivers who were clutching ended up winning and finishing 2nd. So who knows what we'll see here for the premiere race of the opening round of the 2013 FAST Walmart Superspeedway Series here at the Daytona International Speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida. As I am Josh Mertz up here in the commentary box bringing you the call for the Automotive Sports Network as always, as we are currently in qualifying, as we will get to the qualifying order shortly. As you know, as always, ASN social media, we're really big on social media here. Our Facebook page is facebook.com/Automotive Sports Network. We post news, notes, broadcasts, stories, anything really on there. We will link it from our actual site, which we'll get to in a moment. It's facebook.com/Automotive Sports Network. Twitter.com/ASNTV_USA. We have our on-demand page hooked up with our Twitter page. So if you follow us on Twitter, and you'll get a tweet whenever we upload a broadcast on your newsfeed on there. And to join the conversation on Twitter and Facebook, you can use the hashtag ASNTVUSA. We encourage it strongly. ASN On Demand, which is pretty much where you will watch any program from the Automotive Sports Network, is youtube.com/ASNTVUSA. Our ASN Live page, which when we are working with our friends from Glacier TV, we use, but currently we are not. It's twitch.tv/ASNTVUSA. And our brand new site, which we just finished up yesterday, is asntv.us. And if you have any broadcast inquiries, comments, questions, concerns, or suggestions, you can email us at any time at asntvUSA@gmail.com. As this broadcast is brought to you by, as always, Java Shot Designs. If you need any painting done for any of your racing interests, contact Adam Sweet at his page at facebook.com/Java Shot Designs. We'd like to thank him for that. As we are in qualifying here, we're going to bring up the running order. On pole is, I believe that's Robbie Jackson in car number 0 at a 43.603. Then it's Sean Whitehill at a 46.685. So he's got about a tenth of a second. Wow. Austin Hakes in the Alex Gordon mobile, 48.260. Tim Smith. Then it's Jackson, Whitehill, Coleman. The 87 is Simons. Luke Fleming jumps to 2nd. Coleman jumps to 2nd. As you know, as always, we don't exactly have timing, or we're not allowed footage for qualifying. John Poole jumps to 2nd place in the 56 car. As it's an interesting race here, as we're going to get our satellites hooked up for just one moment here. As I don't believe the transponders are working on every single car, so we're going to check for just one moment here as we are finishing up qualifying for this series and the first round of the Super Speedway Series. So just one moment while all of our transponders get hooked up to our satellites and vice versa. As I believe it's a 35-lap race off the top of my head. I don't have the notebook in front of me, as I never have the notebook in front of me. As apparently I do better without any preparation at all, which is strange because I believe it was Mosport that I was actually preparing for the iRacing.com Prototype GT Challenge. and then I did absolutely awful. So it's my signature to not prepare at all, and that's what we're going to do, as the satellite's being a little bit slow here, as we're about halfway connected up, getting ready, so we should be done by happy hour, so don't worry, you're not missing anything. As always, we can't show any footage during qualifying anyway, as many of these series don't like us to show the drivers racing around the track. So we're going to, we should have our volumes situated. We have been working really hard to try and get our volumes fixed. Hopefully we have, as satellite's about 80% connected now, 85, almost getting ready, just getting the last transponder hooked up to timing and scoring and to our monitors, getting ready for this race. Almost done. Tech guy in my ear says, Josh, it's almost done, as it is connected, and now we are going to get some footage for you with cars on the racetrack getting ready. As I've said that about 7 times, so if you had a nickel for every time I said getting ready, you'd be rich. We are almost to the start of this race, as we are in the middle of happy hour, so let's bring you some footage of cars on track, shall we? So our first car on track is Jeremy Murray in car number 81, and then John Poole in the Star Trek, I think that's a Star Trek car, or it's a Top Gear car, it's a Star Trek car. Randall Coleman and Sean Whitehill, 2 teammates leaving the pit lane, as actually we're going to bring you what happened in qualifying. I'll say the order again when they're actually gridding. But on pole is Austin Hakes, picking up where he left off, clutching that car at the end of the rookie race. On his outside is John Poole. Then it's Randall Coleman and Luke Fleming, Adam Simons and Tanner Smith, Robbie Jackson and Sean Whitehill, and Jeremy Murray with Tanner Smith is your 10-car grid here at Daytona. So, one moment here, and we are finally back to live pictures. We're going to bring up timing and scoring here, as it doesn't look like anyone has set a lap, so we're going to take that box off. Here's Randall Coleman with Sean Whitehill and Tanner Smith, as you just finished watching here, as the director finally decided, yes, we're going to combine those 2 broadcasts on demand. You just finished watching that interesting race with Josh Hawkins clipping the end of the wall. I still have yet to figure out why. He had a suspension issue all race long. The car was just all over the track. And he made contact with Tim Smith, and strangely, Tim Smith finished 3rd. He pitted and was out of sequence, and he had damage from that wreck, but he was able to stay behind the 2 leaders that were clutching, the 2 Cup drivers that were clutching, and I actually made a mistake, as Adam Simons is a Cup driver, so he was already locked into the race, as the 3 drivers were, I believe, Robbie Jackson, Tanner Smith, and Tim Smith, although I probably got that wrong. So, we're going to bring up timing and scoring. 1 car has set a lap, and it's Tanner Smith in a 1:03, so obviously that must have been an outlap in car number 03. With about a minute and a half left to go, times are going to come in, as now it goes to a 47.304, like happy hour times really matter. There's a fixed setup for the series. The series officials give all the teams the same setup, so you have to run the specific parameters. You can't even change tape. You have to have tape at a certain level. You gotta deal with what you are given to your race car. So in this little draft chain, John Poole, Tanner Smith, Sean Whitehill, and Randall Coleman, the 2 Revolution Motorsports cars, Tanner Smith and John Poole. Revolution Motorsports came from their first Rallycross event, and it was announced right after the Rallycross event that Austin Hakes, it's rumor, but it might be true, Austin Hakes is going to the Citroen Junior World Rallycross team to run their 2nd car. Sam Limbaugh has been absent from the first 2 races. He's going to be absent from the 3rd race at Charlotte, but there should be a 2nd Citroen, as Cody Erdman's going to be absent as well. So there should be 2 Citroens on the grid next week, as around is Tanner Smith. And I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, in the rookie race broadcast, you can watch that race on demand at 8 p.m., premiering at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on ASN On Demand next Monday. So 25 seconds left of happy hour. Your fastest 2 cars, number 24 and 48, Randall Coleman and Sean Whitehill. So the 2 Revolution Motorsports cars with their brand new engine, their brand new cars, out front of the field here in Daytona. As tomorrow, keep it locked to ASN On Demand, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It premieres the opener of the Fast Precision Cup Series, also at Daytona. The following day is the Fast Sport Truck Series. or Super Truck Series, rather, excuse me. And then on Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, the Fast Sports Stock Series. Everyone from Daytona here, and we have a week filled of fantastic restrictor plate racing. John Poole pips up to P1 because he was behind the two cars, a 46.591 in car number 56. So the three Chevrolet SS cars are leading this train here at Daytona, as I believe it's a 35-lap race, but we shall see in a moment. To the pit lane goes the 56 and 24, and around the track is the 48. And there's the Alex Gordon mobile. 2 for 2 with race wins today, as I can't take it seriously with the Alex Gordon face on the hood of that race car. But he's 2 for 2. He won in Texas World and he won here at Daytona. So I mean, it's going to be good if he can go 3 for 3. So happy hour just coming to a close here at the Daytona International Speedway from the commentary box. I love this camera. All the way up here, seeing what I see. This camera's right in front of my face as we are getting ready to grid for this. Actually, wow, it's a 60-lap race? That's a long time. Let's see if there's any confirmation on how long this race is. As I don't know if that's a timing and scoring issue, or we will see if we can get confirmation here. The field is on the grid with Austin Hakes, John Poole, Randall Coleman, Luke Fleming, Adam Simons, Tim Smith, Robbie Jackson, Sean Whitehill, Jeremy Murray, and Tanner Smith. So confirmation, we are running all 60 laps here at Daytona. That's a really long distance. So about 100 miles or so. I'm going to break out my calculator here, see if I can calculate how long this race is, as I'm not the best at math. So let's go. I'm on my smartphone device. I'm
Staff Sergeant Proto with the soldiers of the 1st Cavalry Division. Gentlemen, start your engines!
There's a nice command. We are running 150 miles here.
All right, everybody, just like what we talked about in the transporter. Nice and easy. It's a long race. Settle in. It'll be nice and smooth. Go out there and kick some butt tonight. This is your house. Let's prove it to them.
Radio transmission from Austin Hakes as he's starting on the pole, and he won at the last race that we just ran, just finished up, the rookie division here at Daytona. So as I mentioned, it's going to be Hakes, Poole, Coleman, Fleming, Simons, Smith, Tim Smith that is, Robbie Jackson, Sean Whitehill, and there's Jeremy Murray, and then Tanner Smith. 10 cars, as there is the very infamous Alex Gordon, his album I Love Scandinavian Hookers on the side of that race car. And I'm going to try not to burst out laughing in the middle of this race, but that car is just, that's a great car. That's a great looking car for the 7 Key Racing team. As we get ready to go here from Daytona. As glad you could join us here in the Automotive Sports Network, ASN TV USA, ASN TV. Check out asntv.us for any and all information. If you'd like to join FAST, friends@simracerstour.com for any and all information. This is the Super Speedway Series, one of the more popular series. I wouldn't judge it just by 10 cars, as I do believe there is a field cap on this series this season, so we don't have 20 cars crashing within the first lap. As we had a first lap incident in the rookie race between Kraus and Hawkins. Those two drivers are not here, so we shouldn't expect that. But 60 laps, 150 miles, plenty of time for something to happen here at the Daytona International Speedway. The field is in the hands of Austin Hakes in car number 21. The driver hailing from Portage, Indiana, will bring the field down to the green flag for the first round of the Fast Super Speedway Series. Green flag in the air, and we are underway at Daytona. From the commentary box camera, as it should change, there it goes. Austin Hakes coming down to the line to lead lap number 1 at the Daytona International Speedway by a 1/10 of a second over Randall Coleman, and it was a 1/10 of a second tie between Coleman and Poole. On the outside, Fleming with Poole. On the bottom is Simons, Coleman, Hakes, and in the back, you cannot see out of shot, is Robbie Jackson. So 4 cars on the inside, 6 on the outside. Jackson dropping back a teeny tiny little bit. Possibly something wrong. It's about a car length and a half between Simons and Jackson as the top 3 on the top groove and the top 3 on the bottom groove, tightly packed, trying to push their way to the front, as plate racing is all about strategy. By a car length, Austin Hakes, car length on the outside, that is, Austin Hakes, and now the top side, excuse me, slows up a little bit. He leads lap number 2 as well here at Daytona. We saw the field had to pit on lap number 18. And you can stretch it to 20 laps, but that is if a caution happens within the first couple laps. In the wall, Luke Fleming in car number 75. Hopefully there's nothing wrong with his car. That's coming off of corner number 2. And down the back straightaway, Hakes, Coleman, Simons, Tim Smith. So most of the field is single file. Simons looking under Coleman. Coleman having a little bit of an issue. He had to pull out of line, and this is going to allow Coleman. No! Hakes goes to the outside. He's not going to abandon the Revolution Motorsports driver, so these two are going to work together, as it looked like he got the draft from the 21, and Coleman is back in second spot. As Luke Fleming has dropped back to about 0.8 of a second behind Robbie Jackson. He has scored 1.96 seconds behind the leader, Austin Hakes. As these two, they're trying to tandem away, it looks like. So we have a car around. It's Murray in car number 81. Will there be a safety car deployed? Around is the 81. We're waiting. He's back going again. No lights are on the safety car. And we will see what happened here. Yes, it's live action, but I did not catch that until I saw the 81 around, so we will see what transpired in corner number 2 with Jeremy Murray in car number 81. And from the helicopter, looks like he's got a bit of an issue, and then just gets driven into by the 0 Robbie Jackson. That's a bit strange. Back to live pictures. He is in 10th spot now. No caution on the speedway, as we're trying to find the field here. 6 cars. Luke Fleming 7th, Jackson 8th, Murray's 9th. We might be missing a car. Was Jackson forced to park? No. It looks as though transponder issue with Sean Whitehill, as it typically happens. His transponder has stopped working for a moment, so he will be coming from the pit lane momentarily. So Coleman on the outside with Simons, Poole, and Tim Smith, and then Tanner Smith and Austin Hakes, 2 Toyotas on the bottom groove. And I believe radio is saying that Sean Whitehill is coming back out onto the circuit. So in pit lane is Jeremy Murray in car number 81. Let's see if they can fix that car and get it back going again. So a 6-car train on lap number 6 of 60. We are 1/10 of the way, as I still love obscure fractions, 1/10 of the way through this event here at Daytona. Coleman on the outside with Adam Simons on the bottom. As 3 cars on both grooves, Simons leads lap number 6. As we start lap 7, this is going to be a long race, and I'm going to get really bored really quickly. I'm probably going to use the commentator break a lot, as there is Whitehill coming out of the pit lane. As this is probably an obvious thing, but when you're a commentator and you're the only one, your mouth gets tired. And take that as you wish. You can make a joke, yes, but your mouth gets really tired from talking a lot. So actually, I'm actually going to take my first one of the night here. I'm the only one on the commentary box. The action will still go, and if there is a wreck, I will jump right on it, as I'm sitting right here in the commentary box. But ASN, we want to mute my mic for a second so I can talk and insult the drivers. No, I'm kidding. I would never do that. Anyway, first commentator break of the night. as looks like Austin Hakes has gotten into the wall in the Alex Gordon mobile. And there might be some suspension issues, but he shot straight towards the wall, and we will try and figure out what happened, as it's a good time to stop the commentator break, as I have ran out of propel. So I think I will take another 10 laps. That sounds about right. So I'll be able to run down to the concession stand for the second commentator break at lap 20, and I think I'll take one lap 30, 40, and 50. So those are the commentator breaks, unless we get a caution flag. As Adam Simons is your leader with Tanner Smith, and oh boy, the ATN Autosport cars are up front now. And you might just want to pack up your stuff and go home, because they won't let anyone past. As cellular devices really distract you a lot, I'm actually going to put mine on the opposite side of the commentary box, so director, please catch that. Tanner Smith is leading from Adam Simons, from John Poole, from Randall Coleman. As now I have a bit of a hiccup issue with the propel. Great. Tim Smith in 5th, followed by Austin Hakes, followed by Luke Fleming. Robbie Jackson and Sean Whitehill. Whitehill, it looks like, has gotten his laps back from race control because of the transponder issue. And Jeremy Murray is 2 laps down. He is still running 184 miles an hour, so we will see if it really affects him if he gets into the draft. As we're on lap 12 of 60. Let me try and do an obscure fraction here. Can 4 go in? I don't even know. Let me know. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I tried to do a little math equation there, trying to make an obscure fraction for myself, and I can't. We're 1/10 and we're 1.2 tenths. Can you say that through to this race? As the 2 ATN cars are leading with Tanner Smith and Adam Simons, John Poole, Randall Coleman, Tim Smith, as we're really pretty much going to ride it out here. As I can admit, I really don't understand why this race is 60 laps. But that's just my opinion, as the rookie race was 20 and it was exciting. And with 60 laps, I mean, that's way too much time. Because a super speedway race, you're supposed to have a little short sprint where you have to make your moves immediately. And we're actually going to try and figure out what happened here. And nope, nothing on the radio as to what happened here. This Tanner Smith is leading with Adam Simons, and now we have Adam Simons really making contact with John Poole. John Poole and Randall Coleman. Tim Smith trying to decide a groove, and now Austin Hakes. I might have a little bit of damage. Yes, he does. Look at the right side of the Alex Gordon mobile torn up. He's going to have to wait until the first pit stop to possibly get his crew to fix that, as the 7 Key Racing team is a relatively good team. They have a lightning fast pit crew. As Tanner Smith still leads at the end of lap number 13. As he's around! Wow! Wow! As around is Simons, around is Tanner Smith! And how did that happen? I have never seen that happen. As the 2 ATN cars go from leading to in the infield. And leading now is John Poole. So from first and second to the back of the field go the ATN cars, and as the field catches up to the safety car, we're going to take a look at what just happened. I've never seen that happen before. That was strange. It might have been a bump and I might not have been paying attention, or he just lost it, but we will see. Here we're going to run it at full speed, and we're going to, here we go. The 2 cars are running into the car. Oh, wow. Whoa! Whoa, wow, 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 wow. He just lost it. It almost seems like the spoiler just failed in the middle of the corner. It honestly does, because the car just snapped. And I don't know if there's snap oversteer. The drivers said in practice this setup was designed to deliberately push on the bottom. So your car, I don't have an explanation for that. As he goes into the corner here, and there's a transponder issue with the 24 Coleman, and he just flips and slides and makes contact with the 87. and both the ATN cars are wrecked. So, this gives me an opportunity to take the second commentator's break of the night. 5 laps early, but I don't mind. So, I'm going to take a run back to the concession stand to get another propel, so enjoy the action under caution. As I am back in the commentary box here after my escapade to the concession stand, and I am going to, let's do this for a moment. As we're trying to get Randall Coleman connected to the commentary box here to possibly see if he would like to have an interview. So we will see here in a moment's time. As we're still under caution, and he has approved it. So let's drag him in here. Randall Coleman, it's Josh Mertz up in the ASN commentary box. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
As director telling me your audio level is a bit low, so I have to turn you a tad up. Okay, so is there any explanation? I know whenever I interview someone, I always interview someone that's not involved in the wreck. But from your point of view, what happened there?
Looked like the 03 just got a little bit too far down below that yellow line, and it just hooked him and spun him, and the 87 just didn't know what happened, and just kind of tried to make a move to miss him, and sent himself up into the wall too.
As it looked early on in the race, it was going to be an ATN and Revolution dogfight with Tanner and Adam, and then you and Sean, but Sean, like usual, has a transponder issue. Is Sean back? Timing and scoring reads Sean's back on the lead lap, so if you two get hooked up with the two ATN cars, not together anymore, are you guys just going to stay up front and lead the rest of the race?
Hopefully. I mean, we also have our Alliance team with the 56 and out there with us too, so hopefully we're strategizing here, and maybe that'll get us back to the front and stay hooked up. I honestly don't know how much damage those two got from the race or from that wreck, so I guess we'll find out here and see what we can do.
As I just noticed, Lucky Dog is Jeremy Murray. Another kind of random question, not related to the race really. I wasn't sure while gridding, as you are a race official, is there just a 10-car limit on the grid, or is that just the rookie division, or is there just a lack of entries for this race?
It's actually just the entry list is just kind of low tonight. I was actually expecting to see more drivers come down here to Daytona and race, but hopefully next week will be a little bit better.
As I believe the journey for this series won't have to take that, it won't be too far, because I believe it's Pensacola that you guys will be in next week. I honestly don't have the schedule in front of me. I was hoping you possibly were going to correct me if I was wrong, as we are halfway down the backstretch. So
I believe you're right. I believe you are right.
As thank you for, even if you didn't know, I don't know where I was going with that. So we are going into turn 3. Thank you for your time, Randall Coleman. If there's another caution flag, I will try to talk to you again. Thanks for your time.
All right, thank you.
So, thank you to Randall Coleman. Big thank you to Randall Coleman. Always willing to help out the Automotive Sports Network with interviews during the caution flag, so I don't have to rummage off to the concession stand and find something else to do during the cautions and my amazing commentator break. Let me tell you, ASN approved of those. And I was floored because I don't have to sit here under caution like Texas and just want to rip my hair out. They gave me a graphic to use so I can press the fancy button and walk away from the commentary box, and it's one of the greatest things ever. Pit stops re-rack the field. It's Luke Fleming on pole, followed by Robbie Jackson, Adam Simons, Randall Coleman, Tanner Smith, Austin Hakes, Poole, Tim Smith, Sean Whitehill, and Jeremy Murray. Green flag back in the air. We are underway once again as Luke Fleming has a car length advantage to Adam Simons, but a car length advantage is not good at a super speedway. You want to be tucked up right together as the two ATN cars getting hooked up, and so trying are the two Revolution cars, and there's the sole Carolina Motorsports car leading this race. As interestingly enough, many of these teams have rallycross programs, and I'm going to make the third or fourth program note next Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, NASA Rallycross from Charlotte. So after the two cracking races we had to open the season, will Carolina Motorsports, pictured here with Luke Fleming, will they be able to get back to the front, or will ATN Autosport be able to get back to the front, or will Revolution Motorsports? Well, no, Revolution Motorsports won't exist anymore, possibly. Austin Hakes still signing a deal with Citroen for the junior team. At the end of lap 19, a third of the way through this race, it would be the white flag lap for the juniors, or the rookie series, but it's not. It's a 1/3 mark for this series. Luke Fleming is your leader as we are beginning lap number 20 in the Alex Gordon Mobile, trying to go 3 for 3 at the Daytona not the Daytona International Speedway, but in running. One at Texas World in the shootout last Wednesday, one earlier today at Daytona in the rookie division, albeit by luck and clutching and whatnot, whatever it may be. And now trying to battle for the lead. Tanner Smith was looking, but he denied the help of his fellow Toyota stablemate, and Alex Gordon Mobile, driven by Austin Hakes, will drop to the back. And it would be incredibly interesting if Alex Gordon ran an Austin Hakes Mobile. I think the whole 7-Key Racing team is actually going to run something like that. I believe in the Sport Truck, or the Super Truck, I'm going to get those confused all the time. The Super Truck Series, Austin Hakes is going to run the Daniel Wilson Mobile. And you'll see that race Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, ASN On Demand. You'll see Sports Stock Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, ASN On Demand. Cup Thursday, as we have to have a day delay because ASN Live is not functioning right at the current moment. As that's the best way we could deliver content to you at the Automotive Sports Network. We're trying our best with what we can, and we hope it makes you happy with your racing fix. As Fleming is leading here at Daytona, like usual. Like usual, he's still leading. I don't know why I said that. As you can tell, kind of fatigue's hitting me again. And we're on lap number 21 now, as Fleming still leads. Actually, 22. Fleming still leads, and I'm going to pull my hair out with these last 40 laps because this track, this is going to be quite the race, but it's going to be quite a time killer here. as I really wish that I would have someone helping me up in the commentary box, but apparently I don't have any staff that would help me out. That's kind of disappointing. But anywho, Luke Fleming leads. On the outside is Sean Whitehill. On the apron is Robbie Jackson. That's not the best racing groove. I'd hope I'd let you know that, with Tanner Smith in second spot in the Fanta Toyota. As it seems like ATN Autosport's kind of like Robbie Gordon's team. They switch manufacturers, sponsors, numbers. They switch that more than the win shifts. I'm just going to admit that. Adam Simons was 08, then he was 16, then he was whatever number, he's 87 now. Is he going to switch to 187 or something obnoxious? Who knows? Anyhow, Robbie Jackson, probably a little bit arrow loose in the 0 car, all over the track on the bottom groove. He's down the backstretch. Fleming has half a car length over Sean Whitehill. As Whitehill always has that transponder issue, is the whole field, well, Jeremy Murray's not back on the lead lap. I thought he was the lucky dog, but apparently he wasn't, as Simons turns Jackson in the middle of the corner. Hard on the outside wall goes the 87, and the 0 car. Caution is out for the second time tonight. And leading at the line will be Luke Fleming, and we will take another look at what just transpired in corner number 4, and this will give me another chance to possibly have another commentator break, as it happened behind Randall Coleman. As here we go. Coming into turn number 3, they're tandeming, it looks like. We're going to half speed it. Now quarter speed, Looks like they were trying to tandem, and it sent Jackson into the corner. As these cars, the bumpers don't line up very well. And into the corner, it looks as though Jackson might have come down right on the right front of Adam Simons' car. And the way Jackson spun, it didn't really allow Simons to spin him up, and hard head-on into the outside wall goes Adam Simons in car number 87, and the 0 car, Robbie Jackson. So those two cars are in the outside retaining wall. Very hard hits for both of them. Jeremy Murray sneaks through there in car number 81, but normally when you get spun at a plate track, you turn the car and then it spins off your left front, but that was a right front issue, and it really didn't allow Adam Simons to get around. And it looks like, wow, we come back to live pictures, and the 87, 81, and 0 are in an accident involving one another, and this is going to force all 3 of them possibly to park their race cars. So let's try and get another replay of what just happened, as Jeremy Murray being accused of plowing. Ooh, this isn't going to end very well, as we're going to load up and get a replay situated for you here. As they're we're going to have it from the backstretch camera, and it's going to be a rate of 1. It looks like they were making contact already, and then the 81 just drives into the 87. That I have that's interesting. Looks like Adam Simons is just going to quit in car number 87. Car's still fired. He's throwing it into reverse. We're on board with the 87. He's not happy at the 48, or the 81 rather. So he's going again. So is Murray. And so is Robbie Jackson, and it looks like Adam Simons is just frustrated. He's taking the car behind the wall into the garage. No, he's not. He takes it behind the wall. Is he waiting to retaliate in the 81? Well, I won't have my commentator break until this feud's sorted, as the field is in corner number 3. I don't think Adam Simons cares about being off the lead lap. He wants revenge on the 81, so I think he might. I don't know. The engine is running. He's keeping the engine running by revving the gas pedal. Or revving the engine, flooring the gas. This is one of the stranger incidents that I've seen with what Adam Simons is doing. As Murray's clear, and Simons is sitting there. I don't exactly know what Adam Simons is doing. He's sitting behind the wall. There's my view from the commentary box. I can't really see him. He's behind that grandstand, but he's sitting behind the wall. He took the road course pit exit. There goes the field by. What is Adam Simons doing? You would think that it's crazy for me to focus on one car, but I'm seriously... It's peculiar why Adam Simons is doing this. From the helicopter, you see where he's positioned. He's right next to the wall. He spun the car around, and he's flooring the gas. Is he trying to blow the motor? I think he might be trying to blow the motor. As the crew, I see the crew from the commentary box. The crew is running towards the car. They have no idea what's going on. They're making their way down the pit lane. So, Adam Simons has finally gotten out of the car. I think the engine just blew up. And we will figure that out. But anyway, it's time for the third commentator's break of the night. So, I will be right back. As there is a storm a-brewing on the radio right now with Adam Simons and Jeremy Murray. Adam Simons is furious, vowing never to run this series again, as his Toyota was destroyed with the contact between him and Jeremy Murray. And it's strange. He was sitting there behind. I now know why he was sitting behind the wall on the road course pit exit. He just couldn't. He was screaming over the radio, and instead of possibly driving his car into Jeremy Murray, he was sitting there, hands off the wheel. The only finger was on the button to activate the radio, and he was screaming his head off. And I would do that too, because as a racing driver, when you get ticked off, when you get wrecked, and then you get wrecked again, and the second time is completely out of the blue and you have no clue what happened, honestly, it's a good thing he did that, because he could have ended badly. Anywho, Luke Fleming will lead us down to the green flag. We are coming to lap 28, close to halfway, and I've only had, 3 commentator breaks? I think, yes, that was my third. And I'm going to try my best not to have any more. Anywho, safety car is off. Luke Fleming leads the field. Now of 9 down to the green flag. And the green flag is displayed. And we're underway once again at the Daytona International Speedway. As around is Sean Whitehill. Safety car deployed again. As it looks like Sean Whitehill has a couple blown tires as a satellite issue, I believe. That's why that screen is up on the monitor. As I'm trying to figure out why. As this will span into my fourth commentator's break, as now I'm just going to sit here and reflect as to what... Well, actually, no. I will take a look at what just happened, as I didn't do that, and then I'll take my fourth commentator's break, as it's peculiar as to what just happened, honestly. We're on the restart lap 28, and I'll just let the wreck do the talking. Looks like a transponder issue with Sean Whitehill, and it collected Poole, Tim Smith, Randall Coleman, Jeremy Murray, nearly Dord is the 81. Unfortunate for him. And it looks like Sean Whitehill is on track. Is he? Yes, he is, but he's in the pit lane. Trying to get that car fixed. So safety car lights are on, and my fourth commentator break will begin. I really hope that you guys don't think these are excessive. But actually, no. Interview with Randall Coleman. So let's see here for a moment. As once again, going to ask Randall Coleman if he wants to join me up in the commentary box for an interview possibly. So we will see. So Randall Coleman, it's Josh Mertz once again. I was about to go for my fourth commentator's break, as I really hope I'm not abusing those, but it looked like a transponder issue again, the second transponder issue with Sean Whitehill, as he normally has those. And what was your view?
Well, sideways in the middle of the track. He got into me a little bit. No damage so far, so that's a good thing. I was able to keep it off of everything. Just got a hurt left front, but we're going here and fix this here in a second.
As I know this, I love, like I said earlier, I love to ask what happened with wrecks that the people I interview that aren't involved in. It's all one radio channel, of course. What happened? I was gathering from the few radio bits and pieces I've been hearing that Jeremy Murray crashed into Adam Simons, and Simons was parked behind the wall for the longest time. I mean, could you possibly offer an explanation if you want, or... Because I'm still confused myself.
Yeah, from what I heard, the Zero got into the 81 and punted the 81, and it caused a chain reaction. I guess somewhere the 87 got involved in it. He wasn't very happy about it because I think someone was trying to put the blame on him when it wasn't him.
So, that would make it... That would be logical. It looks like you exited the pit lane. Many cars were taking fuel. As I really don't have anything else to say, so if you have anything you'd like to say, now's your time.
Yeah, my crew chief didn't hear me. He didn't give me any tires.
So, I know that all the teams on the pit lane do have my broadcast feed, so next time, please give him tires. Thank you. I know we've set that up at the track. So, if you'd like, I'd like to keep you up in the commentary box. I'm probably not going to ask you any more questions, but it's nice to have someone possibly to talk to under the caution period if you'd like. I mean, how's the race been? Various generic questions so far?
Yeah, well, it's been pretty good. I mean, we got up front, got to lead a couple laps there, and like I said, if Mr. Check and House will put some tires on this thing this time when I go in, then we might be okay.
So you just blew your strategy. Well, it's your normal strategy to pit about 7 times a caution. I learned that at Iowa. With the 87 out, that's going to leave the 03 a sitting duck, and I'm terrible at interviews. That must make you happy with yourself, Randall Coleman, Sean Whitehill, and you said you'd work with John Poole. So those 3, you 2 can blast in the front and then just run away with it, possibly.
Yeah, it's a shame to always see a good competitor get knocked out of the race and all. It would have been an interesting battle with them and us. But now, like you said, we have the numbers, so hopefully it'll go in our favor here towards the end of this race. We still got one more pit stop, so
that
hopefully everything goes smooth.
That makes the strategy easy for me. As let's see if Chad Knaus told the crew to give you tires, and yes. So good job, Chad Knaus. I know you can hear me. You can't talk to me, but I know you can hear me. You've got me on that little TV on your pit wagon. Good job giving your guy tires so he can make a run to the front. But that's not very nice what the 56 just did to you. And how is it hard to try and pass the 21 with seeing Alex Gordon's face on it? Do you bust out laughing? I know I do trying to commentate a race.
Yes and no. Alex Gordon's a pretty cool guy. I mean, it's pretty funny seeing the Gordon mobile out here racing. So it's a little bit of, you get a chuckle, but you don't want to laugh too hard so you can stay focused.
Well, that is true. As the field is in corner number 3, and this is the traditional time where I thank you for talking with me. And if there is another caution, or possibly if you finish in the top 3, I'll be talking to you soon. So good luck in this last half of the race, Randall, and thanks for talking with me.
Alrighty, thank you.
So that was Randall Coleman for the second time tonight, as Luke Fleming still leads on lap number 32 of 60 here at Daytona. There are 9 cars on the track, 8 on the lead lap. Fleming is your leader as the safety car will pull down. He leads, followed by Robbie Jackson, Sean Whitehill, Austin Hakes, Tanner Smith, green flag. So Fleming with a 2-car length advantage over Sean Whitehill in car number 48. Followed by Tanner Smith, followed by the Alex Gordon mobile. So that's your top 4 on the bottom groove. Here at Daytona. On the outside is Tim Smith and Robbie Jackson. Jeremy Murray in the back of the field. It looks as though the transponder issue has finally possibly been fixed, at least for the time being, with Sean Whitehill. He's back on the lead lap, so he will be rounded up and back scored to second place. He drops to the outside, possibly for a second, until the camera panned, and he was back on the bottom groove with the Alex Gordon. That could have ended badly. Alex Gordon mobile nearly losing it. Good save by Austin Hakes in car number 21. As to the middle groove-ish goes Luke Fleming. Whitehill follows. Smith, he goes way outside. I think he's dropping back to find Coleman. That would be a logical answer. We're going to see down the backstretch if he's dropping back to find his teammate. Will Coleman jump to the outside with Poole? Will the 2 cars jump to the outside, or will Whitehill jump in line as John Poole doesn't allow it? Will Coleman jump in line? Will he jump to the outside? Let's see. No, Whitehill to the back. So with a car length and a half advantage is Luke Fleming, followed by Tanner Smith and the Alex Gordon mobile. Then it's about 2.5, maybe 3, as I'm still learning how to count by car lengths, to John Poole. So it's actually about a car length to Tanner Smith. And then right on the back bumper of the 03 is the Alex Gordon mobile. And then it's about a car length and a half to John Poole. And then it's about 3 to 4 to Robbie Jackson. I really like counting with car lengths. That makes it really fun. So Fleming, Smith, Hakes, Poole, Coleman, Jackson, Smith, Whitehill, Murray. Your running order. We have 9 out of 10 cars. And remember, it wasn't a field lock, as I incorrectly but unknowingly made early on in this broadcast. There's not really a lot of entries for this race, as there was a couple more for the rookie race. And honestly, I think if it was a test, I do believe. Honestly, in my opinion, it should have been a test for a rookie division. I mean, honestly, there would have been a few more cautions. We only had 1 caution in that rookie race, though, and it was a 20-lap race. We've had 3 to 4 cautions in this race, so if you added in those rookies, we would have had, 17 cars, and it would have been a really big grid. Honestly, Fast officials should really rethink that, but that's just my opinion from the commentary box, and it's not their opinions. As Austin Hakes to the outside in the Alex Gordon mobile with Robbie Jackson and Randall Coleman. No, that's Poole. That's not Jackson, excuse me. As Luke Fleming and Tanner Smith on the bottom with Austin Hakes, John Poole, Randall Coleman. Then it's Robbie Jackson, Tim Smith, and Sean Whitehill. So we have a group of 2, a group of 3, a group of 3, and then Jeremy Murray all by himself. So he's running 187. He's still on pace, but he doesn't have a drafting partner, as Adam Simons is in the garage, probably punching a wall down in the ATN Autosport garage with a car length and a half, maybe. Oh, Fleming is not having a good day right now. No drafting help for the 75. Will Austin Hakes drop to the inside? No. It's about a car length from Fleming to Tanner Smith, and Poole trying to get some cool air to his engine with the 21, 56, and 24 on the outside of the racetrack. Now on the outside is Tanner Smith. So there's 4 cars on the outside. They're tired of the Best Buy Ford leading. 2 Fords in this race, and they are up front on the bottom groove. On lap number 37 is now in the books. As actually after this race, I've got to try and run to Arby's. So hopefully Arby's is still open by the time this race ends and by the time I get there, as I believe there's one a couple miles from the track. So I have to run out of the commentary box, beat the crowd, run to my car, and then get out of the racetrack. Anywho, Austin Hakes is your leader now with Luke Fleming, who has dropped to the back of the field. And then, oh, nearly on there. And how am I yawning at a plate track? Then it's John Poole and Randall Coleman. Luke Fleming has dropped in behind Tanner Smith, the orange roofed car. So those are the top 5. Then it's Whitehill, Robbie Jackson, Tim Smith. That's the top 8. As Whitehill has made up a couple positions. In the wall is Fleming, car 75. These are the 8 cars. This is the pack. These are the undamaged cars, I do think. Lap 39 begins. We are almost 2/3 of the way through this race. As once I regain my composure here, as I nearly just died sneezing, Austin Hakes, John Poole, Randall Coleman, I knew I was going to make that mistake, Tanner Smith in the 03, Tim Smith in the 98, Luke Fleming, Sean Whitehill, Robbie, I just completely fell apart, Robbie Jackson, almost called him Robbie Carpenter for some reason. Can someone slap me in the face, please? Thank you. As they're all single file, I want to sit and relax and take another commentator break. So if they wreck, I'll start screaming my head off. As to the apron is John Poole. As I was going to mention, I just got bored of sitting there doing nothing as I haven't left the commentary box. I've been waiting, looking at my monitor, and that's a perfect time to come back. As John Poole dropped to the apron, nearly tried to... Austin Hakes, that could have ended in tears. As we are now getting down to the nitty-gritty 15 laps to go. Can I make an obscure fraction out of that? That's what is that? 4/6 through the race? That's actually, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 45, 9/12. There we go, an obscure fraction. 9/12 of the way through the race. Here at Daytona, side by side is Whitehill with Poole. Now Fleming side by side with Poole and Tanner Smith from the helicopter trying to take the fight to the 56. As Randall Coleman has dropped back, Robbie Jackson pitted under that commentator's break, and I have yet to figure out why, so let's actually check the radio. Haven't figured out why. Nothing over the radio that I can see, the one radio channel that I'm allowed to scan. So there's nothing over that, and side by side, Whitehill for the lead. It was a tenth and a half of the lead last lap between Hakes and now Poole, and Poole's on the bottom groove. Bump drafting is the 48, 75, and 03 past the bus stop, which Daytona prototypes, HPDs, etc., would be roaring past, but we don't have any contracts for those series, and that makes me cry. But I think the Super Truck Series is coming to Daytona, so is the Sports Stock Series. Many of these fast series are coming to Daytona. The road course in about 10 weeks' time, although I'm not exactly sure. Leading lap 45 is Sean Whitehill. We're getting down. Well, it's not even close, really. There's still plenty of time. About, what you'd say, 45 miles. I still have yet to learn math, but 14, 15 laps to go. We'll see here momentarily, as I have to check my... Okay, my watch says it's a good enough time, so Arby's should still be open after this broadcast, so I can jump in the car and head off there. As we have 5 cars on the inside, 2 on the outside. The 2 Fords are on the outside. We have 3 Chevrolets and 2 Toyotas. And there isn't a Dodge in this race. And as to the pit lane, Hakes, that's Poole, Coleman, Smith, and Fleming. Took me a while to recognize the cars. As there's a bug in the commentary box. It's violence up here in the commentary box now. I'm trying to kill a bug that's in the commentary box. So give me a moment. As I think he just died, so I just committed murder here. But anyway, they just drove through the pit. Okay. Oh, safety car's out. Wow, while I was paying attention to killing a fly in the commentary box, that happened. As you can tell, fatigue's getting me, and my attention span's falling apart, and I need food. So let's take a look. That's why they drove through the pit lane, and that's what I just missed. And it was the leaders. Leaders of the race were tandeming, you could say. They were bump drafting, Tanner Smith and Sean Whitehill, and going into corner number 1. They tandemed the wrong way. Around was Whitehill. Door slammed into the wall. Head on into the wall went Smith, and both these drivers have significant damage. So that's unfortunate, and it will allow me to take my final commentator's break of the night, and I will come back as soon as the field is coming back and getting... Oh, is Murray's around? Nobody's around him, though. Anyway, I will be back as soon as the field enters their final lap of caution. So this time I'm not going to ask Randall Coleman. I'm just going to connect him to the commentary box straight away. As this time I didn't connect you. I'm sorry, I didn't ask you. I'm sorry. I knew it would be bad if I didn't ask you in first.
You're fine.
As this is the third and final time tonight, I don't want to jinx you. You'll probably win the race. No, I don't know. Anywho,
Hope so.
everyone was pitting as I was trying to kill a fly in the commentary box. As this race, everyone was just on the outside, and I was in a commentator break. I'm killing a fly in the commentary box, and then the lights are out on the lights are on the safety car. Do you know what happened between oh my, transponder issue with Jeremy Murray, and Sean Whitehill drove right into him. As I was just about to mention that the 03 and the 48 made contact. I don't know honestly what to say. This isn't very good for like an interview standpoint, but this race has given us pretty much everything.
Yeah, I've seen almost everything out there so far today, and I'm sure these winding down laps, you're going to see more.
As it looks like Whitehill's good to go, those mechanics were able to fix the car. I don't think Murray is going to be able to continue. Do you know what happened to Jeremy Murray? I saw him, and then timing and scoring said towing. Did he say over the radio what happened?
He lost an engine.
Oh, so Adam Simons retired due to that accident and possible raging. Jeremy Murray has blown the engine in car number 81, and according to timing and scoring, a puncture has captured Tanner Smith's quest for victory. So we will have 7 cars on the racetrack, and you still have your teammates. It's going to be 3 versus 4, and when it comes down to it, would you ditch your teammates?
Did you ask if I would ditch them?
Yes.
Yes, I would. Sadly, I would.
Not playing team player is Randall Coleman, but anybody, I mean, I would ditch my teammates if I was going for a win at Daytona. Win at Daytona means a lot, and I'm pretty sure you would agree.
I agree. But the thing with my team is I've always told our guys that, throughout the race, work together, try to survive, and ultimately, then at the end, it's every member for themselves, go for the win. And that includes if you even had to pass your own teammate.
As lights are still on the safety car. So we have 7 cars on the track. Jeremy Murray's crew they're down in the pit lane frantically as the car just got towed back a couple minutes ago. We saw the contact with Whitehill. The crew is frantically trying to fix that car from the commentary box. They're frantically trying to fix that car. But you said the engine had expired in the 81, so they're just... I wouldn't know what they're doing, but have you had your crew do that? When you have a terminal engine failure or something like that, your crew works hard, and then you tell them the engine's gone? Is that how it works in racing?
Well, I guess it all depends on exactly what happened to the engine. If it just died on him, it might be a possibility that they can get it refired. And maybe he can log some laps and I think maybe possibly gain a position. I think.
No. As timing and scoring has just listed the 81 out due to an accident, I believe the crew just realized a terminal engine failure did happen and they pushed the car behind the wall. I'd like to ask another question. Was that rookie division, was that an experiment, or is that a legitimate thing?
Well, I believe it's going to be a legitimate thing each and every week. I think the main thing is that they're trying to get the rookies in here to race without the veteran drivers, and then he allows the top 3 to advance, and so ultimately giving them, a bigger possible field in the main event and giving them the opportunity to race against the veterans. I think he said that the requirement is you have to have at least 10 drivers to run it at the track. So like today, he had to fill in a couple drivers to make the 10 required, and then the top 3 advanced.
Honestly, I mean, I made this point earlier. Obviously, nobody heard me. I made this point earlier that, in my opinion, it was a bad idea because there was several drivers that would have... I mean, the race was 20 laps, and the only caution was because Hawkins had his suspension issue and got crashed with Tim Smith. I would believe if you had those drivers, we would have had, I mean, I'm not saying this race was boring, but 7 cars, sure, for 9 laps, it's going to be pretty good, but for Super Speedway, we would have had about 18 cars if those rookie guys didn't have to go home, and that would have been an exciting race, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a shame that you have to send them home and all, but for them guys, it's all a learning experience, and you know as well as myself that they need to get a little bit more track time and prove to us that they're capable of being able to stay on the track and race with us.
That is true. As last time during the race, I'm going to talk to you, Rendell. Thanks for all your time. Hopefully I interview you after the race, and good luck for this last portion of the race.
All right, thank you, sir.
So, I'm going to count 52, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 60. Yes, I counted audibly. 8 laps to go, as I have yet to learn how to count. 8 to go here at Daytona to decide the first round of the FAST Superspeedway Series, the FAST Walmart Superspeedway Series. Glad you could join us here in the Automotive Sports Network. We're going to have 7 cars to duke it out here for 8 laps. As here we go, safety cars off. John Poole leads us to the green flag. As now nobody is going to budge. The Alex Gordon mobile banged and barged and drove the wall down. Mid-race, had the right side destroyed. I think I saw a mechanic pop the right side window off, jump in the car, and smash through the bars, the roll cage, to get that side back together. So, I mean, in this series, yes, it's kind of weird because aerodynamics are so important, but the drivers, the mechanics, they'll do anything. They have a rally standpoint with this series. They have a rally standpoint with any racing series, really. They want to see their car in victory lane, so they'll do anything to repair that car. Like I mentioned, with the 21, I even saw the 48 team doing that, and like I said earlier, in that interview with Randall Coleman, interview/talking piece with Randall Coleman, the 81 knew the engine was dead, but they were still trying frantically to repair that car cosmetically, just in case something could be quickly replaced in the engine. Obviously it was not to be, but they were hoping something could be easily replaced in the engine to where he could be back out and racing, but obviously, as I said, that was not to be, but the crew still worked frantically. Lap 52 in the books. We are on lap 53. It is John Poole, Luke Fleming, Sean Whitehill, Randall Coleman, Austin Hakes, Robbie Jackson, Tim Smith. That's your field. 7 cars. We had 7 cars at Iowa for the full race. Granted, that was a 0.78 miles oval, 7/8 mile oval, and this is a 2.5 mile oval. But it's still the same. You can have 7 cars, you can have 2 cars, you can have 22 cars, you can have 42 cars. No matter the cars, no matter the type of cars, no matter the field size, you could still have a cracking race. John Poole leads at the end of lap 53. It is 6 laps to go here at Daytona. Any one of these 7 drivers can win it. Looks like Robbie Jackson looked under the yellow line just for a moment there. As time's ticking down for me to get to Arby's, as I hope they don't close in 10 or 30 minutes, but we'll see. I'm kind of worried. Anywho, Poole leads, followed by Fleming, followed by Whitehill. Whitehill, Coleman, and Hakes go to the outside. 3 versus 2. Top versus bottom. And Poole is leading. Will he go to the outside to help? Yes, he does. It's going to leave Luke Fleming all alone. Will Austin Hakes drop to the inside? Because you know these 3 on the top side won't do anything. Whitehill looked to the middle for a moment there. As we're coming to 5 laps to go. Actually 6. Wow, I still need to learn how to count. They just did a quick count as they were coming to the line. As they're going to come to 5 laps to go now. Once they get around, the flagger will have his hand wide open for 5 laps to go. As the Revolution Motorsports drivers want to go 1-2 in this race here at Daytona. And hopefully next week, or tomorrow rather, Adam Sweet can possibly start his 3-peat quest at Daytona. Remember, program notes for the end of this week, as I'll just mention the FAST Series, the FAST Aerodynamic Web Design Precision Cup Series. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, they will be at Daytona. It premieres on demand. The following day, the FAST Coast to Coast, I believe the sponsor is, Super Truck Series, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, ASN on demand. They're also at Daytona. And the FAST Alienware Performance Series once again, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, ASN On Demand at Daytona. The new programming block starts next week, but Monday we will have NASCAR Rallycross in Charlotte, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, ASN On Demand. As these are the 7 cars, they're under half a second. As to the outside is John Poole, Sean Whitehill, and Randall Coleman. On the inside, Luke Fleming, Tim Smith, Alex Gordon, I actually called him Alex Gordon. Austin Hakes and Robbie Jackson was picking a line. Coleman goes to the inside. This is getting good as we're getting down to 4 laps to go at Daytona. Luke Fleming is your leader in car number 75. I guarantee you Randall Coleman wants to hear my beautiful voice again. That's why he wants to push his way to the front to at least get into the top 3. Currently he's in 4th. Fleming, Smith, Hakes. They made a huge run to the lead. And then it's Coleman with Poole, and Jackson is side by side with Whitehill. Tim Smith in the inside. Hakes is going to the outside of Tim Smith. Nobody wants to help the 98 car to possibly get to the lead, as he finished he finished 3rd to Austin Hakes and Sean Whitehill in the rookie race earlier today. He wants to improve that position by 2 spots, but Luke Fleming and the whole rest of the pack won't allow it. 3 laps to go here at Daytona. Luke Fleming picking a line. He's trying to make the car as wide as he can. Nearly chops off the 21's nose, as it's 3 cars on the bottom and 2 cars on the top. It's Fleming, Smith, and Poole. Then it is Hakes and Coleman on the outside. Did a car spin? No, it's just Whitehill and Jackson. They're probably waiting for these 5 to crash up here. As on the outside now goes Poole. Fleming on the outside. He's trying to block for all he's worth in car number 75. The North Carolina driver, I think he's from North Carolina. We'll go with it anyway. He's from one of the Carolinas because of Carolina Motorsports. If you haven't noticed already, he wants to get the Best Buy Ford in victory lane. I don't think the Fords haven't won in a long while. 2 laps to go. The flagger displays here at Daytona. He's going to block for all he's worth, but he didn't get it. He did not get it. And to the lead, trying, is Austin Hakes in the Alex Gordon Mobile. Can he make it? 3 wins in a row for the Alex Gordon Mobile, car number 21. Randall Coleman in 2nd place. Luke Fleming in 3rd, followed by John Poole in car number 56. He's going to make the car really, really wide, is Austin Hakes. Coming to the white flag. This race is finally over for me, you could say, because I remember I was moaning and groaning during the commentator break that this race would never end on lap 20. But here we go off of corner number 4. 2.5 miles left to go at Daytona for the first round of the FAST Superspeedway Series. As the outside is Coleman. I said Swooper Speedway, but it doesn't matter. To the outside went Coleman and Fleming. Poole tried the inside with Smith and himself, but he jumped to the outside. Now to the inside goes Tim Smith, working with Austin Hakes. Will the Alex Gordon Mobile finally lose a race, or will he be able to win this race? Down the back straightaway for the final time goes Randall Coleman in car 24. I really think he wants to hear my beautiful voice in victory lane, as he is leading into corner number 3 with Luke Fleming. To the outside on Austin Hakes is John Poole, 4th and 3rd spot. But coming off the final corner, Randall Coleman for Revolution Motorsports, making the car really wide. Coming down, he is your winner of round number 1 of the Superspeedway Series. As in 2nd is Fleming, 3rd, as timing and scoring says, is Austin Hakes. 4th, Tim Smith. 5th, Sean Whitehill. 6th, John Poole. 7th is Robbie Jackson. 8th is the 03 of Tanner Smith. 9th is Jeremy Murray, and 10th is Adam Simons. Wow. So we're going to interview immediately, as we don't really have that much time. We said the final results here, and we're going to get Austin Hakes up here connected to the commentary box relatively quickly. Once we get him here. Austin Hakes, I don't have a lot of time, so I moved you in here. It's Josh Mertz up in the commentary box. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
You had a run on that last lap, it seemed, and then you didn't. And the Alex Gordon Mobile is finally defeated. That's unfortunate, but how was your race?
It was pretty good there, up until the end, obviously. I had some damage, so I wasn't sure how that was going to play out. But we got up to the front there with about 2 to go, probably. And I knew I didn't really have that much help because Revolution had a couple guys there. So I just tried to make some moves and see what played out, and ended up getting third.
As what happened there early on in the race? It just seemed like your car shot up to the outside and you destroyed the outside wall with this side of the 21 car.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what exactly happened there. It just seemed, I'm not sure if I touched the apron or not, but it just took off, and I walked up the track and went to save it, and it did it again, and I ended up hitting the wall. Luckily, I didn't destroy anybody else's race. So.
Well, you had the lead with a couple laps to go, and I mean, it's the nature of plate racing. You have the lead, and unless you block like mad, it's not to be. And you did a really nice pass, I believe it was on Luke Fleming, as he nearly chopped your nose off, and you were leading then, and then obviously you lost it, unfortunately, but it seemed like it was a good race for you. If you have anybody to shout out to, now is your chance.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Alex Gordon for sponsoring my ride there. And, congrats on the win to Randall and Revolution. They had a good outing tonight.
And let me ask you, do you know what to do with your hands?
They're shaking a little bit, but yeah, I'm working on it.
That's a good thing. So congratulations on your third place, even though you won't get any champagne, but it was a good run, and there's always tomorrow.
Yep, thanks.
So now we're going to bring in Luke Fleming.
How do you turn off the...
Hello, Mr. Luke Fleming. You were figuring out how to turn off your car, apparently. So,
well, no, not the car, but the... Oh, well.
So the man who covered for me yesterday, how was your race? You had the lead. What was it, coming to the white flag?
Well, about 5 to go or so.
That's close enough.
I mean, my buddy Tim was just pushing me out there into the lead. I was afraid I was going to lose it because of that high line, but me and him managed to get me out there, stay up there, and and then Randall and Hakes passed me low, and I figured, well, probably not going to win the race, but let's see if I can get a top 3 out of it, and I ended up getting second. So,
as it really seemed it was a race of attrition. As interestingly enough, it always seems that fast races are races of attrition. As you avoided the carnage, there was plenty of carnage on pit road and et cetera, et cetera. It seemed like you had a relatively clean race aside from everyone else.
Well, hit the wall on the first few laps, and that was the only damage I had ever gotten, even though it was none, but still.
Yeah, I did notice that.
That's the only damage.
Did your car just steer to the wall?
No, a couple laps before I almost hit it off a 4, and it just... I just didn't like high line.
As I'm going to admit, I really don't have a lot of things to ask you, as I was pretty much under commentator break or talking to Randall under cautions, and the race was pretty much single file for most of it, actually, as I noticed, except for like the last 5 laps.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you'd like to say to the viewers?
Well, Carolina Motorsports got a podium today, so whew, yay. Add another second to my books. Still haven't gotten a win in Fast yet, but I'm hoping to get one soon.
And there always is Rallycross in Charlotte, although you do have to beat Citroen.
Well, yeah.
But that's a whole nother story.
That is a whole nother story.
So, I will leave you to celebrate with your team on your second place finish, and yeah, congratulations, Luke.
Yeah, it was really fun. After whatever happened in that rookie race with people, it was just really quiet when we were on the radio and stuff. So it was one of our best races.
So, with Luke still connected to the commentary box, he said that if you're interested in running fast, friends@simracerstour.com for any and all information. I do believe that's the website. And Luke Fleming is a race official, so if you need anything, talk to him. Anyway, congratulations, Luke, and like I said, go celebrate with your team.
All right, thank you.
I had made the joke that you wanted to listen to my beautiful voice again. That's why you were pushing to get the victory, as you just climbed out of the car and you're soaked with Gatorade or whatever else your team has sprayed you with. How was that run to the finish?
Nerve-wracking. I still don't know what to do with my hands.
I knew you were going to say that. I even asked Austin before he finished his interview if he knew what to do with his hands. As I did with the last two, I was under commentator break and or just talking to you. It seemed like half the race was single file, half the race was crazy, and my brain, knowing me, I have not even remembered what happened. You had, aside from that spin, I believe, had a relatively clean race, and then out of nowhere, you just blow by the 75 and 98, and you make that car really, really wide, and you defeated the Alex Gordon mobile.
Yeah, it's a pretty good accomplishment. Finally put a mark on that car's record. What can you say? I love Daytona. This is the third Cup win over here in a row for me on this track, so I love it. I love the racing. I knew Luke Fleming was going to make a run on the high side there, and I knew that once he started to go, I had to go with him. I wasn't sure once he seen me go with him that he's going to stick with me, but he did, and I just pretty much mirror drove the rest of the final lap or so, and seeing what he was going to do. And like you said, I made that car really, really wide. Actually, this is my first win in this Superspeedway Series, and it's finally, is all I can say. It's finally.
And to get it at Daytona, no less. I mean, this, you could say that, Monaco is an F1, that's the crown jewel. Indianapolis is the crown jewel for IndyCar, and for any stock car-based racing series, Daytona. So how does it feel to get a Daytona win in this series in particular?
It's really, really good. I mean, like I said, I've won here several times in the past. I've actually racked up 4 Cup wins at this track now, with all of them being within this, past couple seasons and all. And any super speedway that I went on, or that my guys went on, it's a great accomplishment for us. We put a lot of effort into our setups and just time working on the tracks, and as I kind of pride myself with my team on the super speedway tracks. So anytime we can wind up in victory lane, it's always a great day, and it's a great achievement.
And I know Adam Sweet is probably watching in his hauler, and he's probably going to give you a gigantic bear hug, knowing him. So I will leave you go for you to run away from your teammate. So I really have nothing else to say. So it gives you great momentum into tomorrow's race, and if you're running the truck race and the Performance Series race, so you can get 4 wins in a row. Who knows? The Alex Gordon mobile got 2. So it gives you great momentum and possibly get a couple more wins this week.
Yeah, like I said, we were very successful last season at Daytona. We won the Cup race, and then we went and backed it up with the truck race win. I think actually the whole Revolution team, we swept that week. So definitely a lot of momentum going into this week, and hopefully one of our guys will line up in victory lane tomorrow.
So that's all I got for you. So all I could really say is congratulations, and hopefully that momentum helps you get another victory this week.
Yep, thanks, man.
As that is pretty much it from the Daytona International Speedway. As I would honestly, as satellites are telling me we don't have a satellite connection, so I can't show all those fancy graphics. Anyway, I'll go through them manually here. As you just watched the Daytona 150 for the FAST Walmart Superspeedway Series here on the Automotive Sports Network, our ASN social media. Our Facebook page is facebook.com/Automotive Sports Network. We post everything on there. Twitter.com/ASNTV_USA, #ASNTVUSA. This is going to be really quick because it's on the top of my head. ASN On Demand is youtube.com/ASNTVUSA. ASN Live is twitch.tv/ASNTVUSA. Our brand new fancy website, courtesy of Victor Valley, is asntv.us. And for any and all broadcast information, inquiries, comments, questions, concerns, or suggestions, email us at any time at asntvUSA@gmail.com. And this broadcast was brought to you by JavaShot Designs. Adam Sweet's going to kill me because we can't show the logo here because our satellite just killed itself, apparently. So, Director, go please find that satellite and put it back up in the sky if you can. If you need any painting done for any of your racing interests, contact Adam Sweet at his page at facebook.com/JavaShotDesigns. So, we'd like to thank and congratulate Randall Coleman on his race his race win in the Premier race tonight, and to Austin Hakes and the Alex Gordon Mobile with a stellar clutching job with the 21 car, as those two races were stellar. As noted, the rest of the Fast Series will be at Daytona. Tomorrow is the Cup Series. The following day is the Trucks, and Saturday is Performance. Monday actually, NASA Rallycross from Charlotte. Keep your eyes peeled to the programming block on asntv.us for any and all information. So that's about it from the Daytona International Speedway. You watched a presentation of the Automotive Sports Network, your source for motorsport. Congratulations to Austin Hakes and to Randall Coleman and to all of our ASN staff. I am Josh Mertz. Thank you for watching.